Hello, welcome to Playing Catch Up with Lamar and Shane, where we discuss our attempts to play catch up on games and react to news in the ever-evolving gaming space. My name is Lamar, I bleed green, diehard Xbox fan. If you cut me, an Xbox will fall out.
I'm currently inked blue, guys, definitely. If you see my picture, you notice I have a fro, not anymore. Actually faded the right-hand side, and there you find a PS5. Definitely.
I wonder if it was the same size as a PS5. Anyway, yeah, so for this episode, we are going to be discussing our reactions to the State of Play and also to the new Pokemon trailer that was announced, Pokemon Arceus. If you haven't checked that out, please go to, well, not now, but later on, go to YouTube, check out that trailer.
Spoilers pending, guys. Check it out.
Yeah, check it out. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. Just talking about the State of Play, our reaction to it. If you are on our YouTube channel, you can see the video of the State of Play. If you haven't checked it out, it's also on YouTube. And just check it out there. So first impressions. Shane, what do you think? State of Play? PlayStation's coming out this year, showing what's in store.
It's early days yet. And I genuinely believe that what we've seen is a tidbit of what to come. Slightly disappointed, but forgiving nonetheless. It could have been worse. It could have been what we saw last week with Nintendo. If I was to throw a console under the bus right now, I'm picking them. Yeah. Not impressed, but, I know I didn't win any Xbox fans over with what was shown, but hey, what do you think?
Yeah, I was pretty excited to the lead up to the State of Play. As we said, like in the last episode, like I was really looking to see what Sony were gonna do, if they're gonna talk about their bigger titles that are coming out. But it's been the lineup wasn't that great. But nevertheless, there were some interesting things in there that really caught my interest.
That's true. We have to weigh our expectations versus reality. Your dad always says that. Tribute to that, maybe it's a myth that God of War and Horizon will be coming out this year.
Yeah, because this is what I said to you when they did the trailers last year and did the surprise announcement of God of War Ragnarok. That was definitely a mic drop moment, but at the time I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're gonna hit that out that next year and Horizon at the same time.
Trust me.
So my private, well, it's not private anymore. I'm talking about it on the podcast, so it's public now. But I'm thinking at least one of these games aren't gonna make it. And I was even thinking, are they just mentioning this to just
get people to buy consoles?
Yeah, to push the PS5, but they were gonna release it in 2022 anyway and just go, oh, it's a delay. But who knows? What do I know? I'm an Xbox guy. I'm biased anyway.
even then, you know what? I genuinely believe that it's gonna be one of those things where you say it was worth the wait. The last God of War that came out was worth the wait. And if we rush a project, and we were talking about this before the podcast, as consumers in this industry, we are unforgiving. So I guess it's better for you guys not for you guys, but for Sony at this point to do a late release and have an exceptional game like the last God of War was, as opposed to an early rush. But tease us with something, do like Marvel does, drop unnecessary information, get fans excited, and then sideline the information and come up with something new. That's the trick of the trade.
Yeah, it's definitely true. I think, especially if it was, if God of War and Horizon's coming out this year, they need to show it more. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just thinking, when are they gonna show it? And then
I don't know.
Because there's a lot what is God of War Ragnarok? What's changed? What's I mean, in terms of gameplay and style and story wise, there's like all these different things that it will take multiple events to cover.
There's gonna be a lot. I genuinely believe, because the creative director of the game took a whole new spin on it. I mean, you haven't watched the making of Kratos.
I know, because I don't want to spoil it for myself.
You need to watch the making of Kratos, and if you do that, you'd have a good idea of what is to come.
Yeah.
Because he was at that stage of his life, and that molded his outlook, and then to know that they changed the whole ethos of the game was spectacular.
Yeah.
And it's still bit Greek Norse mythology, but I genuinely believe where they're going with it, it's gonna be awesome. That's what I feel.
Yeah. But yeah, I do agree, like it's better to take your time with games than to just ship them. I mean, you know, Cyberpunk is like the go-to in terms of reference for that, which is like why a lot of like Xbox fans are, you know, super okay with Halo being delayed an extra year. By the way, they released some screenshots for Halo Infinite, and I told Shane I'm going to drop this somewhere in the podcast.
Definitely.
But yeah, check out the new visuals. It's looking amazing. Well worth the wait. But as I was saying, like, yeah, if you rush a game out, it's going to end up like Cyberpunk. You're going to get a game and it's just not going to be up to the standard that you want it to be.
But even if they did what Halo has done.
Yeah.
I mean, tease us with something. In terms of the new visuals.
Yeah.
Like, give us information as the project is going. Keep us in anticipation.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by like, that's why I thought God of War and Horizon would have turned up in this state of play.
Yeah,
because if it's coming out this year, there's so much that needs to be said. There's so much that needs to be shown. Like, nothing was shown on Ragnarok. Some stuff was shown on Horizon, right?
Yeah, initially.
But like nothing on God of War. But yeah, I mean, I guess we have to wait and see.
But I mean, it could be said that maybe, just maybe, they're keeping all of their eggs, or all the cards rather, for a better term, close to the chest.
True, that is
in
true.
Preparation for E3, which is just probably 4 months away.
Yeah,
we're almost in March now.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
no, that actually is a good point, and Sony do like to do their, you know, mic drops. So maybe that's why they were fine with this being a more conservative like state of play.
Right.
But you know what? Production wise, I will say this. Production wise, they've gone a lot more like Nintendo Direct, and I like that. It's one of the things that I like kind of wish that Xbox did as well. They have Inside Xbox, but the flow of that isn't really that great. Kind of drags a bit. And like the state of plays that Sony did before, they started to get better and they're crafting it better. But like, it just seemed like Nintendo Direct got the pacing,
right.
The pacing
got it right.
So like,
minus the last Direct.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
know. So yeah, it was good to see Sony like take all the good bits of that and put it in. So in terms of the flow, of and the delivery of that, like I thought that was really good.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'll just say I'm kind of old school, where I still believe, and I'm yet to go to an E3 or an anime convention yet, guys. You know, if you want to sponsor me a ticket, I'll take it. But the whole idea is like, I'm up for that, you know, crowd roaring and bunch of excitement when the on-screen reveals are done in that grand hall.
Yeah,
I think that's me. So I think I lose the whole excitement when it's just shown on my TV on the internet. In my 55-inch. I cannot lose that.
I didn't want to shoot that down like that. That's obviously the best way to experience it. But in terms of like doing online delivery of like information, like Nintendo Direct has always been the best way.
It is, actually.
In my opinion, yeah.
The flow of it, the way they've crafted things together, put it together. Yeah, we have to do a separate episode on the last Direct though. Like, I still a lot of mixed emotions.
Yeah.
And then Sony pulled a fast one, but we'll get to that. They pulled a fast one.
Oh yeah.
But we'll get to that.
So yeah, some other highlights. I know, Shane, that you was happy to see Final Fantasy.
Definitely. Seeing that I've played it on the PS4 Pro, which was supposed to be enhanced, can I tell you? I mean, that's the best way to close that state of play, actually. I think brownie points for them. Give them a free controller, extra token to go back to the arcade. That was on point rather. Because I mean, when we were talking about it, like, we were saying, oh yeah, the visuals look good for the PS4, and then they did a side by side comparison of the PS4 to the PS5, and I was like, wait, is that a PS3?
Yeah, no, like honestly, right? I looked at that and I was just like, did the visuals look that bad? It definitely, but they don't, like, really, like the PlayStation 4, like the graphics on it, it's a good game and graphically it looks great, but like just when you compare it to next gen and you realize, like, you just don't realize it definitely is like going from a HD screen and then looking SD, you know what I mean? And just like, oh, I can see all the pixels now because your eyes get used to it. And like for them to do the comparisons, like it's right there, like for you to see.
You saw how bad the PS4 was, and that sounds away.
Yeah, it's because the PS4 graphics were good, but compared it looks bad. You know what I mean? And that's the crazy thing about it.
Higher frame rates, cleaner pictures, and more detailed. The characters just look fluid on screen. It's like he's watching water.
Yeah. I did tell Shane this. I was like, because it's I believe it's going on PlayStation Plus next month. I was like, I don't have PlayStation Plus, but I'm gonna get PlayStation Plus just to get like Final Fantasy 7, pull it on my backlog, and then we'll see what happens in the future if I get around to playing it.
And it makes sense they've done that because Final Fantasy 16 is coming out, and based on what we saw visually for 16 when they announced it, I think it's only fair that they've done an upscale of Final Fantasy 7, which everybody will acclaim to be the best Final Fantasy title that released. Well, I'm still in arms with that because I love Final Fantasy 8, but that's a totally different discussion. You had something interesting to share. Stumbling with my words, guys. On Deathloop.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Every time I see Deathloop now promoted on Sony, it just makes me laugh a bit, right? Because
cheeky points at Xbox.
Yeah,
guys.
because it's now an Xbox game, as in like it's a timed exclusive for Sony on the PlayStation 5, right? But it's owned now by Microsoft as they bought Bethesda. So it's just like the money, like Sony spent all this money to get a timed exclusive, and that all that money is now in Microsoft's pocket. Anyway,
all Sony needs to do is buy Disney, and that's it.
Yeah, it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah,
just buy Disney.
Although Disney
how will Sony cope with that? I mean, they have the competitive edge now because that was already contractually done.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen next? Do you think?
I don't know. There's a lot of speculation. Like, there's people are in two minds whether or not Bethesda will be exclusive.
Right.
If Bethesda's not exclusive, then it's no sweat off Sony's back. You know, they still got access to what is it? Starcraft? No, it's not Starcraft. I can't remember what it is now. It's escaped my brain. You guys can let me know. So yeah, Elder Scrolls, like all the big games, yes, right? Sure. Like they'll still have access to them, but they'll be day one on Game Pass, right?
Right.
Or they could go exclusive, and that will be a pretty big thing for RPG fans. Like overnight, Xbox would have become the best place to play RPGs. Although, you know, that being said, they already bought like really good RPG makers. Obsidian with Avowed, like that game looks good. Like there's no gameplay. They just showed like a teaser, like what it could be. I'm sold already. But yeah, like they have a lot of potential in RPGs already, and then to go buy Bethesda, like you're
stocking up your chips. Right
yeah,
there. That's
definitely stocking up your chips.
I mean, if they could get Square Enix, but that won't happen still. But Square Enix has always been a leader in RPGs.
Oh yeah,
generally.
Yeah, I mean, especially like Japanese RPGs, but Bethesda's been really good with Western RPGs. Yeah. So I would say right now, Xbox have the best Western RPGs. Like from purchasing and, well, to be fair, acquiring all these companies, that they are now a Western RPG powerhouse.
Would there be any partnerships between the two companies?
Between
Sony rather. I keep saying PS4, Sony and Xbox. Through this, I mean, if not temporary, I know they will always be competitors. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, they did have like big partnerships. I mean, like even Microsoft like shared like their servers with Sony or something like that. I remember that breaking the news, and everyone was like, "What's going on?" But like they were doing that to make cloud services easier, and
But
like
to be
in
fair
anticipation, right?
Yeah.
In anticipation, because like this was literally almost going to be like an Avenger like thing, like Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony coming together to fight the enemies, Amazon Luna and Google Stadia. But we all heard like recently what happened to Google Stadia, and it's not looking that great at the moment. So like I don't know what the landscape will look like. It looked like they were gonna cooperate a lot more then, but I don't know now. Probably still in the name of gaming. But yeah, I'm not sure.
I've always said that Xbox has the best servers for online play. I genuinely believe that. I always tell people that they have dedicated servers to run games like Halo, COD, and I don't think Sony has that. Servers are there, but I don't think they're dedicated that way. I always find that games tend to crash online or lag, but yeah, we'll see what this generation holds anyway.
We'll have to see. I mean, like the article that came out, I think it was like last year, was saying that Sony was going to work with Microsoft, and use their servers. So it might end up being, or is probably more reliable now for that. I'm understanding that they're probably not going with Amazon because Amazon's launched Luna, and maybe it's better to make deals with that your enemy, the
enemies,
enemy,
friend.
Know, then you know what I mean.
My enemy is my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably it. But yeah, so like going back to like Deathloop, you know what? When they first announced the game, I was like, oh, it seems cool. But and to be honest, I was automatically biased because they said it was a timed exclusive. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna play it for a year anyway. So
it's gonna come home to whatever. Where it belongs, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the thing. It's probably gonna be exclusive for a year and then go into Game Pass.
Right.
So so like it's still gonna be on my radar. It's just not high on my radar only because I know
the game itself. The concept is awesome.
Yeah.
I get the concept, but it still doesn't pull me in because the possibilities are still finite.
Yeah, I think I still don't understand how the antagonist, how the woman plays a role in it as well. I know that she's against you, but is that another playable character? Is it like multiplayer?
I don't think it's a playable character per se.
She's just hunting you.
Yeah, she's just hunting you.
Okay.
So I'm not even going to get into what that is at the moment. Let's move on. I mean, or eye catchers and new projects that was revealed here. Like, I mean, Sifu was like, when I saw it immediately, I knew. I was like, yes, this is something I definitely want to play. And then you have your eyes set on Kenna as well, and I think that's because it has the depth in terms of storytelling and world building. You know what,
Kenna, like when they announced that again last year, right, it just gave me that Pixar feel, like the animation style and everything, just the cuteness of those little characters, just like, I wouldn't say the innocence of the world, but just the discoverability. The characters, it just looked incredible. It still looks incredible. Like, seeing it, again in this presentation, I was like, man, I'm upset that this is exclusive. I believe it is timed exclusive, but it's a long year. That's a long year. If it's a year,
PS5,
you know what I mean?
That's what's going on there.
I was upset.
The Ori feel. I got that feel from it. Like, it's exploration.
Yeah.
There's more than they're letting on. It's not just like a kiddies feel. Like, there's an adult depth to it. That's how I felt that we're portraying that story.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's like a lot of emotion, right? And that's the thing about Pixar films. Like, they're, you think they're targeted for kids, but like the weight and the emotion of the story itself is so much deeper, right? That adults will get a lot from it. So like that's what I got from this, like from Kenna, right? It looks innocent on the surface and the art style is very Pixar like, but you just know that the story underneath,
there's something underneath. So it reminds you of that movie that came out in Christmas. Soul.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the couch. I was like, what rubbish we're watching now? Honestly, that was. I was like, kiss my teeth. I can't bother. I can't. I don't want to. And then, 10 minutes in, I'm trying to get some sleep. And glancing at the TV. Yeah, it's Christmas night. Just glancing at the TV, and the next thing I know, I'm pulled into the movie, and I watched the entire thing, and I was like, actually, it's not bad. It's actually a pretty deep movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
very deep.
Hopefully, kind of delivers the same way that we expect it to.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to Sifu, right? As soon as like they started playing that trailer, I was like, this seems very like Absolver, which is really weird, right? Because I haven't actually played Absolver. I've downloaded it. I've played it. Yeah, I haven't played it. It's on the backlog, and I've been meaning to play it, right? Because custom combos sounds amazing to me. But so that's why I am excited for this game. Because Absolver, if you don't know, is like a multiplayer game.
Right.
But this looks more single player.
It is more single player. But what you just said is even more reason why we should get Sifu.
Yeah.
Because if it is custom, I was gonna bite my tongue. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
If you're able to customize your own combinations, guys.
Yeah.
What you're saying to me is that I am becoming my own kung fu master. What?
Yes, precisely. Which is why I'm excited for it. Right. I don't know if it's exclusive or not. Did they say it was exclusive?
No, they haven't said.
Okay. Probably means it's not.
But I mean, if we do a little more research, you might just find that they bleed blue, not green.
We'll see. We'll see. Absolver made it onto Game Pass, so I guess they might go where the deals are. But Sony have been backing out some crazy deals lately to purchase all these timed exclusives. So who knows? But yes,
constant battle between the two companies.
But have you heard like Sifu, right? Apparently, when you die.
You grow.
Come back, you grow more experience.
Yeah.
Basically, like a Kung Fu Kakarot Goku, you know, Super Saiyan.
Come back from the brink of death.
Come back from the brink of death stronger. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on Sifu. What did you think of Returnal?
The environments are Returnal. Like, all right, so I mean, every time I go to the PlayStation store, I look at it and I'm like, I want to pre-order it, and I watch the clips over and over, and I'm like, it looks like a really good game. And then what they revealed to us actually was like, yeah, pretty decent. Weapon choices were good. Environment was good. Enemies seemed really tough. And then I like the whole idea where, I guess we're accustomed to playing video games where we die and we go back to a checkpoint. Here, you die and you go back to the beginning, if my understanding of it is right. Guys, if I'm wrong, drop me a message and enlighten my darkness. But I mean, the only thing that threw me off, I don't really play horror games as much, which is why I'm always captivated by the Resident Evil stories, but you never get me to play them. I watched some guy play them online, but I never play them. I watch the movies as well. Yeah,
very very similar to me, right? I do want to play the games, but I'm just like, I'm not a horror person. Like I don't know. Like so Xbox side, like they have something called the Medium, and it's been a big thing that everyone's been talking about, right? But I'm just like, I don't know if I can do it.
And I play games late at night, man. So
yeah,
this random branch to slap the window, and I'm like,
I was still waiting. I was still like working myself up to play Alien Isolation.
All right, I'm sorry, I've played Alien still, so not played to finish, but I have played. So I mean, I get what you mean. You mean with that. So it has a bit of scare to it. So I'm thinking, I'll wait until probably a week or two, see what IGN's saying when it comes out anyway. Then I'll grab it.
See what the reviews are.
But
yeah, I do like the point, because you mentioned about the dying and the respawning, right? When you go back to the beginning, they said that everything still changes.
Yeah, it does.
So you can't even die and then go, I just need to get to this place and then I'll do it again, because everything's changed. The enemies have changed. The enemy numbers have changed. The environment's changed. So it's like you basically started again.
A brand new game you play each time, and I think that it's unique in of itself.
Yeah.
But I think I could get annoyed with that.
Well, I don't think so, because the way it is the fact that you play it differently unlocks different in like different information, right?
Right.
So you discover more of the storyline because things are different. So I think the fact that Respawn is actually a game mechanic, or you could say a story mechanic.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Which is very cool. I thought that was very cool, and I do like that. Yeah, so I don't know.
I think I could take that. That I could take.
It's gonna, I think for me, I'm gonna put that. I'm just gonna keep it in the back of my head. I'm gonna see how much of a horror it is.
Right.
If it's like more thriller, then I probably will get it, but it'll probably be like on sale. I'll probably get it on sale.
Right. If it's like 20XX or 30XX, which is out now, by the way, so it is a tribute to your platformer games and also Mega Man. I'm a big Mega Man fan. But the thing with that game that they've made 20XX and 30XX is that actually what you find happening is that every time you die, you start over, and again, just as how you'd be playing, you kill all the bosses and you get all these upgrades, you're dead, and you go back to the beginning without any upgrades. So it can either do one of two things to you. It can either frustrate you, or you can be like, actually, here what? I'm going to play the game a totally different pathway now. Yeah. And go forward. So if it works like that, then definitely I'll consider getting Returnal. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not even like you're going through the same level, right? I think that's what makes things frustrating and boring. When you die, you go back to a checkpoint, and then you're doing the same thing again just to get to a certain place.
Right.
But at least in this case, you'll die, and then you'll be like, well, everything's changed anyway, so I might as well change what I'm doing and then do something else. So I guess it's the frustration if you get somewhere and you're like, oh, I'm almost there to get this, and then you die, and then you know that you can't get back there again because everything's changed anyway. I think that will frustrate.
Video games need to teach kids nowadays to be resilient. As a teacher, I'm going to say that because this generation is different. Like, I remember playing Contra, getting all the way to level 3. You're like, yes, we're at level 3. Boss, kill you. Boom, dead. And you have to go back to level 1, and you're like, all right, cool. I need to make sure I stack up at least 9 lives so I can get to level 4. You get to level 4, you're dead again. But the thing about it is, every time you got a step further, even though you kept repeating the same stages, to me at the time as a kid, teenager, I enjoyed it. I don't know. That's just the nostalgia. Anyway, talking.
In me in my head, talking about resilience, I'm thinking Ninja Gaiden, right?
Oh, no, we're not thinking
that first boss, right?
No, we're not doing that.
That first boss.
We are not
Oh
doing
my
that.
gosh, my friend told me to play the game, and then I got to the first boss, and I went to him, I was like, is this the final boss? I genuinely asked him, is this the final boss?
No.
Because, like, he just whooped me, like...
First of all, the boss is over 5'10", 15 feet tall. And you have to listen. That game, I can tell you right now, Ninja Gaiden has cost friends of mine TVs.
Oh, serious? Oh my days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I started backwards still. I played 3 in terms of finishing it.
To be fair, that's
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, that's a way to go up in difficulty.
Yes.
Because for me, it got progressively easier.
Yeah. 3 is, I think when they made 1, guys were like, oh, this game is awesome, it's epic. Yeah, graphically not as good, but in comparison to what's out now. Because 3 for the PS3 at the time was awesome. I genuinely believe that. But when you look back, no man, listen, I remember reading online people cussing Tecmo for that. Because it was so hard. It was too hard.
Oh man, I love that game. It was so rewarding though. That's what I'm saying. Like these hard games, when you beat them, it is very rewarding.
Then again, I could mention one game that would change the entire landscape: Metal Gear. The first Metal Gear, the only way to beat the last boss was having a code. If you missed it, that's it. You
yeah, game over.
That's
Might as well stop. Just put down the controller.
Just forget. I didn't even want to. Anyway.
Yeah.
Gone are the days.
Yeah, gone are the days. So getting back to State of Play, right? We went off on a tangent, right?
Just follow the conversation.
Yeah. So we talked about everything that's excited us about State of Play. What about the things that you think could have gone better, or boring things, or
It should have been called State of Z's.
Wow.
State of Z's. No, man.
I
don't... all right, you know what? I'm going to toss it to you as an Xbox fan.
Okay.
You can be critical of PlayStation at this
Okay.
point. You have all free reign.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think this is where PlayStation let me down. Like
Okay.
I got this haircut for them and they let me down.
Yeah. Just be careful. People might actually believe that you got the haircut. Trying to find you on the street. Yeah, so for me, right, I did think, like, I did grow up with Crash, but, like,
True.
for it to start, like, for them to start off with that, I thought that was a weak start.
Yeah, I think so too.
And, like, yeah, like, you know, the fact that it's getting enhancements, that's great. I feel like that could have been, you know, pushed somewhere in the middle. And, you
Right.
know, start off with a bang. End with a bang, start with a bang. But
Yeah,
it
so
seemed like
something that grabs you. I think maybe just because Crash came out late last year, as to why they've started with it. But to tell it was like I was watching a monologue because the guy. And no offense to him, you're doing a presentation perfect, but I guess in terms of I already know, and I apologize if somehow he hears this and next thing you know I have hate mail. But and again we said it
Major
earlier.
famous.
We said it earlier that customers, the gaming customers can be quite unforgiving. But like, I already knew Crash was out there, so it was not anything spectacular for me to see it again. I wanted something new.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess those were the parts that let down this State of Play the most,
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
So like Oddworld. I mean, to be fair though, I'm not really an Oddworld fan at all. So when that part came on and it came on in previous presentations, like it just went over my head. I was just like, okay.
I was trying to figure out where I knew it from. And I was like, is
Yeah.
that Earthworm Jim? No.
Yeah, you do think that right? Is his head?
I was like, no. I know this game from somewhere. And when they said Oddworld, I was like, actually, yeah. I've seen it before. But it's a good that they've brought back some old games to life.
Yeah.
The mechanics look fine. But again, it was not something that I caught on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely. And I guess like as well, I think that it was a surprise to see it on there, and I know it was definitely a surprise for Shane. Knockout City.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is previously on Nintendo Direct, Knockout City. There's a waste of a segment. Like when I saw it, I was like, you cannot be doing this. I'm sure I saw this game last week. Where did you see it? Nintendo's Direct. So it's not new.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if Sony knew that, because
I mean, I don't know.
two a Direct and a State of Play, two digital events, and this game was put on both of them.
Yeah, 1 week apart as well.
Yeah, 1 week apart. That's yeah.
Probably never knew. And when it came out, I don't think anybody at Sony was watching it. And then would it be too late now to edit
To change it, right? Yeah, because
without upsetting the company?
exactly, and you need something else to put in there.
You wouldn't have to cut it out, actually. Just
Yeah.
call up one of the developers and be like, look, send us something, even if it's a guy walking in some background.
Should done that with God of War. That's all they needed, man.
Yeah.
They just needed to like just like zoom into the back of his head, and then everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Kratos, yes!"
Yeah.
That's all you need. I mean, like everyone like lost it for the logo. Just show a
Yeah,
blade,
sure,
a blade of grass, just a blade of grass in the world, and that's all they needed for Ragnarok.
You
and
know
just
what I
like
mean?
more coming.
Like an alien sign in a field. That's a new logo of the game. That would have been epic.
Yeah. Just a big teaser. Do it. What's his name? Kiyojima style with Death Stranding. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? Props to his marketing. Right, he managed to show so much of his game without showing his game. Like it literally for like what? It was like 2 years. Like he was
Hollywood
promoting
needs
it,
to learn from
and then
that.
everyone was like, "Hang on, what do we know about this game?
Nothing.
We don't know
Nothing.
anything about this game."
Hollywood needs to learn from these guys.
Yeah, this just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But yeah,
So yes, a bit of a segue here.
Yeah.
But previously on Nintendo Direct, they should have seriously.
Yeah.
though, they should have taken out Knockout City and put in Pokemon, and this is news to me, so I'm gonna let you lead with this.
Yeah, because Shane didn't see this until today, like before it was recorded.
5 minutes before this.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, have you heard of the new Pokemon? And he was, what did you say? It was
like, what
Pokemon
was-
Snap.
right.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was like, say no more, and I just pulled up the laptop and was like, just check this out. So Pokemon Arceus was announced a couple of days ago.
Yeah, a couple of days ago. Probably
by Pokemon Company, not by Nintendo, which is very interesting. Seeing as Shane said, like Nintendo Direct came out, nothing,
week.
and then I think it was the same day or the day after Pokemon Company said, "Oh, we're going to show something." And then actually showed that video. So I don't know if there was something between Nintendo and Pokemon Company, and maybe Nintendo didn't want to show
some friction going on.
I don't know. No, not friction, but like maybe because like, so my impressions of Pokemon Arceus, like, it was like the first thing I was very like happy, and I was like, oh my gosh, like just to see like the character do a roll in the grass, right? Just that concept alone, it blew my mind. I was like, in a Pokemon game,
the whole thing's changed, guys.
Right, and like him holding her holding the Pokeball and throwing it, like at the Pokemon,
so you,
right?
You felt like you were watching Ash doing this whole thing.
Yeah, like real time, like this, like think open world RPG. You can throw a Pokeball at any Pokemon in the world. I'm like, this is incredible.
There's no walking up to Pokemon, getting into battles. You threw the Pokeball in the wild to catch them. That's it.
Like it's all live. Like there's no like, segue into battle, do a battle, come out, that Pokemon's disappeared, and there's no Pokemon.
And if your hand lean, I'm sorry for you, you'll be throwing Pokeballs until you're weak.
Yeah.
So, that's if they do that, which is where we're now coming to this whole expectation.
Yeah. So just because like when they showed it, I was like, oh my gosh, the promise of it is incredible. Right, this is like what I've wanted since they showed Pokemon Stadium on N64. Like this is all I've wanted since that moment, right? But like when I looked at the graphics, how they were presenting it, and then like even like the frame rate of some of the Pokemon in the field, it was really like quite low. And they announced that it was going to come out next year. I was a bit like, oh no, like I don't know if they're going to be able to pull this up.
It could go sideways.
Yeah, it could go sideways. And like I've been waiting for this since N64, and every time like they release a Pokemon game, they always miss the mark somehow. Like, why is it that like
tough customer.
Yeah, but why is it right that it took the Nintendo Switch to release a proper 3D Pokemon game? You know what I mean?
Well, I'm saying though, well, that's true because they did have the resources before. The only thing I'm thinking, well, all right, so I must state from now. So if you're a big fan of the last two Pokemon that's out, I can't believe I have
Sword and Shield.
Sword and Shield. I can't believe I don't know that, and I've been playing them both. The idea is the graphics 3D doesn't look blocky or completely old art. It's redrawn. So think of almost. Would I dare say that though? Because some of the panels and the artwork remind me of Ghost of Tsushima, like the way the grass is moving.
Oh, what in Pokemon? In Sword and Shield?
Yeah. No. In this one.
In this one, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So the artwork reminds me of that in terms of the feel of play.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an upgrade.
Yes.
We have a year. My question is, how are they going to wreck it? Because I don't want to go.
Yeah, so I'm purposefully lowering my expectations because this is the first time I felt like they're trying to make a Pokemon that I've been dreaming of, that I've just been dreaming for them to make. So I'm lowering my expectations, right? Because it's a step in the right direction.
Right.
But I have to acknowledge it's a step. If I allow myself to get too excited and hyped, my mind's going to take it beyond what it's going to be, especially if they're a year away. So if you guys like watch the video, you probably have already watched it. Like there's still a lot of stuff. Like I personally feel like that was a concept, and I mean I can't speak for Nintendo, but I can imagine that they never included it in a direct because it looked a bit conceptish.
Yeah, it's true.
Like the world wasn't lived in. There weren't any other characters. There were Pokemon, but like
NPCs for real.
You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't say it was a worthy demo of like say E3 or anything. Like when you're first presenting a game to blow people's minds, I don't feel like
that Zelda.
Yes,
that they put out.
Yeah, precisely right.
Fighting against that spiders to this day.
Yeah,
I know exactly how you feel now. I know exactly how you feel
because
now.
if you saw how like Legend of Zelda, my gosh, Breath of the Wild, right? How they teased that. Like, if you go back and watch that, right? It's
No,
amazing.
But there's a
and it's
Zelda
just a matter.
before that. There's a Zelda that they teased before that,
Yeah.
where Link walks into a dungeon and a spider falls down.
Yeah.
That, to me, right now, I'm still waiting for it.
I remember that.
am still waiting for that
Yes.
Zelda,
No,
which
I
has
remember
not
that.
been made.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I'm flying to Japan and having a conference with these guys because something is
Where
going
is
on.
it? Where is this game? Where is it? But to be fair, that was probably like that probably was Breath of the Wild because the spiders, right? The spider bot, in a sense, made it into Breath of the Wild. They just changed the art style and everything. But when they first announced that, right? If you compare that to this Pokemon, like, I don't know, it felt like the world was more alive in Breath of the Wild, even though it was only Zelda and a horse.
Yeah,
Link and a horse. So like, I don't know, it still felt a bit concept. It felt to me early stages,
but
they were 12 months away.
They gave you a deadline, so that's what makes me think. So it's somewhere that nothing's gonna change as much. They're gonna polish it and package it. That's what I feel.
Yeah. So I mean, if they said 2023 or if they didn't say anything, I think I would have allowed my hype to go a bit higher. Right. But when I saw 2022, I was like, after rein it in. I mean,
they could always delay and stuff. They could. Always,
yeah, they could. Or you know what?
Delay.
They could. Maybe they have so much firepower that like they can bash out something great. So, it definitely is going to be. I'm definitely going to be watching it because I do want to see what they do with it. They are taking it a step in I would say, the right direction, going open world RPG. I've always wanted that from a Pokemon game.
As long as they don't put the hit points on screen, I'm alright.
Yeah. But the live battles, right? Calling your Pokemon out and like and hitting the other.
It just looked like Ash was battling Gary.
Yeah,
that's how it
just
looked.
like just in the field,
just
right?
In the field, without the hit points.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, are they gonna now use different animations to show damage?
Well, yeah, and that's another thing, right? There was no UI in the game, so that's the question. Like, is there going to be UI
cool,
or
though,
any
like,
heads-up displays, or is it just going to be plain? And like, I do kind of like that plain feel, right? Where there's no HUD, it's just fighting.
But then you would have true Pokemon in that you could send out a rock type, and an electric type, and you could say, all right, cool. Pikachu used Thunder Shock, nothing happens. Geodude then probably does Rock Throw. And then if you're the Pokemon now, you tap the button quick enough, he dodges, and then you can follow up with an attack. So it feels real. That's what I was thinking. But
I think if they do that route, they'll have to come up with different tellers if a Pokemon's about to faint. If they want to keep the same mechanic of, you've weakened the Pokemon, now you can catch it. I think they'll have to like come up with different tellers. On how to do that.
We just gotta wait till the end of the year to see more updates.
Oh yeah. So I'm a bit excited, but I'm also like I'm trying to rein myself in for Pokemon Arceus. But definitely gonna like keep my eye on it. Yeah. So looking ahead, right? Actually, this is a good question. Are you more or less excited about PlayStation now after this State of Play?
You know what? As I said last week, I still got it as an icon piece. What we saw with Final Fantasy says to me, despite and Returnal graphically anyway, in terms of what the PS5 is capable of for hardcore gamers and gaming, I'm excited, definitely. I'm pretty sure Xbox has some stuff coming out pretty soon at some point that will do the same. It's just that they're being a bit slow, and I know as soon as a new console comes out, it takes a while for them to get off the ground game wise. Because we've even had that conversation off air about life cycles of consoles and when developers really get access to the console. So. That's a totally different conversation, and I digress. But I'm excited. Not excited for the titles I saw entirely on Thursday, but still excited nonetheless.
Yeah, I think if I'm honest, like the temptation to buy a PS5 has been growing in me, but after that State of Play, it kind of like went down again. I was like, you know what, I can wait a bit, because even like the release dates, like Keno was coming out is coming out in August, right. So I was like, oh, okay, I can wait. Like, that temptation's not there right now. My temptation to buy a PlayStation 5 is literally only for Spider-Man Morales. Like, I don't want to play that on a PS4. I want to play it in its best possible version, because
you should play it in its best possible version.
I just love Spider-Man.
It is truly epic.
I was so gutted when Sony bought Insomniac and, you know, made it an exclusive. I was like, this is
why
not
is
right,
he gutted?
man.
That's the best decision they've ever made.
But I'm just like, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's supposed to be multi-platform, man. You just pull it on your platform. I was like, you know what?
Come on, you can never see Spider-Man in green. I'm sorry.
Well, he came out on Xbox. Come on now. Come on, yeah.
Can never see Spider-Man in green.
Can't see me.
Definitely not, guys.
Oh yeah, that really hurt me. Still hurts me to this day. that it's never gonna be on Xbox because of Sony. So I hope Microsoft get their revenge with Skyrim.
You snooze, you lose. Well, yeah, that's true. You snooze, you lose.
Yeah. So,
but then compare Skyrim to Spider-Man. Well,
it depends, man. Seriously, like RPG, they are diehard RPG fans. And
yeah,
for me, like, you spend more time on an RPG game, so for its bang for buck, like, RPG games are, I don't know, are better, but I'll say better, but at the same time, I love Spider-Man that much, so it's hard. I can feel this division within me going, you know what, Spider-Man is just Lamar, shush, Spider-Man is great. So yeah, like, in terms of the state of play, first impressions for PlayStation 2021, I'm not that impressed. I feel like I can wait a bit longer now. The desperation, or I'd say the urgency to buy a PlayStation has reduced in me.
You just made my job harder, Sony.
Yeah, it's made your job harder. So yeah, I'm eager now to see what what Xbox are gonna do, because Nintendo's had a say. Sony's had a say. Google Stadia had a say.
They weren't saying much either. Yeah. They were not saying much either. But
yeah. So it's left now to Xbox. What are they gonna say for 2021? What's it gonna shape up to be? So hopefully there'll be an event soon, or I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Hopefully it'll be an event. I don't want some like press release or something. I want them to do like a direct. Press releases, so
yeah. So you might have to hold on to that one.
Yeah, but they haven't done it inside Xbox in a while, so hopefully it won't be an inside Xbox. Hopefully it'll be like a
world press release.
Yeah, like a series of world premieres, please. I just want to hear that world premiere voice and like Xbox exclusive or something weird like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they have in store, especially with the acquisition of Bethesda. Really want to like know what they're going to do with that. And then what was I going to say?
You forgot what he was going to say.
Yeah, I forgot, because you know what, I was trying to work out what Bethesda's game is. It's like Star something.
It's not Ocean, not Star Ocean.
Starfield.
Oh no,
Starfield. It's called Starfield. I
make that mistake with Star Ocean.
Man, so it's basically
Japanese, man. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, because you have basically Skyrim, fantasy in the past, Fallout, post-apocalyptic world, Starfield, just in the future.
Yeah, and, sure.
Yeah. Rumor has it might be this year. Hoping that. But if they come out and say that's an exclusive, I think that's going to be like a really big win. Yeah. So. I mean, man, like looking ahead, like episode ideas that we have like coming forward, like we definitely want to like delve into like more of the what next gen is, what it's offering the games, like the Final Fantasy that they showed, Final Fantasy 7 they showed in a State of Play, that really shows you like
what's there.
What's there. Like we're only like just scratching the surface of next gen.
We are.
And there's like there's been so much news breaking out about like what these next gen consoles can do. Yeah. I just wanted to say this, right. I sent a clip to Shane. But basically I started Battlefront 2. Like I started playing it on my Series X, and for some odd reason, I did a quick resume, so I came back into the game, and it started playing the game twice as fast.
It's like after a month of play anyway.
Yeah, and I came back to it, but it must have glitched out. But it was literally processing the game twice as fast. So think of the game running in 30 frames per second, but everything's being processed at 60 frames, and like graphically it looked amazing. Like there was no like it wasn't like freezing or anything. It was literally running the game twice as fast. I ran through the level twice as fast, and I was like, is this actually happening? Is it actually processing the game like at this speed? And it was. I was like, that's crazy. I decided to try and do the whole level. I died a lot of times. Spawning was also twice as fast. But yeah, that was very interesting. But I was just like, man, these consoles are incredible.
They are.
If like Battlefront like wasn't that like in terms of like quality and gameplay and stuff, as in like, you know what I mean, like performance on an Xbox One wasn't that great. And now this console's just like just going, oh, I'm just going to do it twice as fast. All those calculations, all those hitboxes and all that stuff, I'm just going to calculate it twice as fast because I can, because I have that resource. Just do it.
You're running it twice as fast as it can.
Yeah, so I thought that was amazing. So yeah, like we're only just scratching the surface of next gen. And whether you guys, you know, are like, if you've jumped into next gen yet, or actually it's current gen now. Like this is current gen. Or you're waiting, like, yeah, I'm just excited, man, and I hope that all you guys are excited
just
as well.
Excited, yeah.
Yeah, because we're just at the beginning. If you saw the games that came out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 at the beginning of the cycle, like some of them looked good, right? But if you look back at them now and you compare them to things like, you know, and I always go for this for graphical reference, Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Like when you look at that game, like it blows your mind. And that's because it was like at the end of the cycle, and like developers had worked out
what it would do now if they upscale it for PS5.
Exactly, right? Yes. So like just the raw power, yeah, behind these consoles.
Well, I mean, it was man that built the games,
exactly,
but I mean,
But the raw power that these consoles can deliver, the resources that they have, right? That like just they can just enhance things so much, and they have been.
So guys, thanks for joining us today. But we really want to hear from you. Give us your impressions of State of Play. State which blood that you bleed. If you bleed blue or you bleed green.
Maybe people bleed red. That might be good too. Well, they'll just be normal humans.
Maybe they bleed red. That's true.
If you bleed Stadia, let us know. we want to know what you feel about what's happening in Stadia land these days.
So, and if you're watching on our YouTube channel, drop a comment or a like.
Yeah, and subscribe. There's also a notification button, so you'll get notified when our latest episodes are out as well.
Click that bell.
Yeah, click that bell.
Thanks for catching up with us. You can find us on...
So yeah, you can find me on Twitter. My username is @Skybz. So Skybz with a C, SCYBZ. That's also my PlayStation and Xbox username as well. And for you, Shane?
You can find me on Twitter and IG with the handle Crimson_6. And of course, if you are a PS4 player, hit me up on PSN Crimson6 Alpha.
6 the number.
Yeah. The number, yeah.
Make sure you clarify that so people can stalk you. Yeah, so it's been great, guys and girls, for catching up with us, tuning into this podcast. Looking forward to recording more sessions, and you'll hear from us soon.
All right, guys. Catch you on the flip side.
Peace.